Good evening, it's July 28th and it's 93 degrees out. And the kids don't know it yet, but we bought them a pool. End of the season sale. Seems like it's a pretty good idea. I think, maybe, possibly. Terrible time of year to install it though, because it's not going to have very long to use it. But this is where I think we're going to put it. It's I think an 18-foot round pool. This is fogging up because it's brought it outside. It is very humid outside. But I'm going to bring out the pool pad or I don't know, you'd put down like your flower beds. That's what it reminds me of. But it's supposed to be 18-foot round. I'm going to drag that out here and place it. And I need this to zoom out. Air conditioner kicked on, so that's awesome. I'm going to bring that pad out here and lay it out here. Get the position I want it marked out, so I can still get the mower through that gate and mow back here. And then once I have the pad marked where I want it, I'll grade it out, I'll get out the laser and we'll see how much dirt I got to move around. I'm going to have to bring some down. I'm going to bring some down from up here and fill in down there. So yeah, should be a fun project. It'll be a lot of fun whenever it's completed and the kids get to use it. Might be a little chilly there for a few days, but they'll have fun. Let's get started. It's a little bit later. It's now 8 p.m. Temperature has dropped to 89 degrees. Still very humid. I keep wiping the lens off, it keeps fogging up. Should have let it warm up out here before I came out to start doing this. So here in this box is that pool mat from Amazon. Take it out and spread it out. Soon figure out where we're going to put this pool. Make sure I still have room for the mower. Hindsight, probably should have brought a knife. You gotta help me out? So this is what I'm thinking so far. Leaves room I can get my mower through here with that garden trailer, whatnot. This I'm just gonna have to weed eat. I don't have a push mower anymore. Nor all this. I cut really quick today. It was hot. I didn't feel like weed eating. Back here, I don't think the mower will fit currently, but we could always push this fence back. And this is kind of useless anyway. Goofy girl over there being silly. I do think we're going to shift this fence out another foot or two in the future. We'll put privacy fence, at least for this front here. Maybe this side too. But I think this is going to take quite a bit of dirt work up here on this upper end. Level this out a little bit. Probably would have been a better idea to go with a oval pool. Put it long ways parallel with this section of the fence here. Would have fit better. But this is what we did. Be better to move it further. No, I think this is probably the best spot. I think. So that gives me plenty of space to travel through here with the mower and whatnot. Might even shorten this little retaining wall here by a couple blocks, a couple of rocks, looks like. Oh, we'll see. See what the missus thinks. Before I start measuring anything out, I want to make sure we have this where we're all happy with it. I'll be right back. Finalized placement figured out. Now we're going to figure out how much dirt we got to move. Think about here's going to be our baseline. So I'm fine here. As I go back, I'm going to get low. So I got to come up with 3 inches back here, which is nothing, really, because on this end, you can still see me. Pro tip, when you go to buy the ruler, get the one that's in inches, not in tenths. So like all these are tenths of a foot. So on that upper end there, I've got to come down 8/10 of a foot. You can't see me. Over here, I don't know if you can see it or not. This side up here. Eight-tenths of a foot I gotta drop. And here I gotta raise, 2.5 tenths of a foot. So, not a big deal. We just gotta figure it out so we know. Sorry, I'll try to edit that part out. Here. Again. 8/10 of a foot almost. Way down here. So I gotta get that drop. Here, let me just pull this up here. Trade with me a little bit. So somewhere in here was my 0 mark. Right there. So there's my laser set up over there. I will include, I'm gonna turn this off. No, I don't have to do that. There's gonna be Amazon links in the description for this detector, for the height stick, yardstick, whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna put the one in there that's in feet, not in tenths, because it makes a lot more sense to look at it and know, oh, I gotta change this many inches versus tenths of an inch. I don't know who set that standard up. And then this, turn this off. Then this is the laser I have. It's the, I don't know how you say that, Q-par. It's got horizontal and 2 horizontal. Wow, making up words here. It's got horizontal and 2 verticals. And then it's got the emitter for that detector over there. And you can see, I know you can see it in the dark here. It works really well in the dark. In daylight, you're not really going to see this laser that well. But the detector will still find it. So yeah, this tripod's a Bosch. Don't remember exactly which one it is. I'll find it. Amazon link for that. For the laser. Laser comes with the case. The detector and the stick are separate. I'll throw those in the description as well. Looks like our next step is to remove dirt over here, add dirt down here, and get that leveled out as best we can. And really, I should do like a bed of sand or something. Right, are you chasing bugs through the plastic? You're silly. But I don't think I'm gonna do that for this one. I'm not really sure how long this pool is gonna last to begin with, but I think the size is pretty good for our family. So if it works out well, if we like it, if we use it more than I think we might, then it's probably be about the same size we go for a more permanent style pool in the future. Hopefully not for another couple of years. See how long this one lasts. So yeah, I don't mind digging the yard up to fit this in here. And can't wait for the rest of the projects that come along with it. See, we're gonna need some pavers. I think that's the idea, is doing pavers. Or, she said pavers. I think she really means like the larger block, I'm assuming. I guess those are pavers too. For a walkway out there, we'll have to do some edging and whatnot. We'll figure it out. All right, I'm gonna start cleaning this stuff up. I'm gonna throw probably 4 stakes down to mark. I think 4 stakes is all I have. To mark where I put that mat down at. Oh, I got more than 4. Mark where I have it, so that I know where to dig. I really gotta tell you, I'm not excited about mowing around this. I think it's gonna be a whole lot of trimming. But that's all right. We can do some landscaping. Make it a little better. I wish I had a bunch of extra dirt laying around. And instead of dropping that a whole foot on that upper end there, I could drop it some and raise the rest of it. So if I drop that a foot, I'm probably gonna have to do some grading up here to handle water coming down this hill. Probably gonna have to cut it back a little further. Make it run off down through there, which is fine, that won't hurt anything. Really, if I do a small little bump from here over, wouldn't be a bad thing, because our door is kind of in a low spot down here anyway. A lot of this dirt's come down the hill, I think, but also it's just a hole back here, so going out through the gate it goes uphill again. So we don't have water issues. It doesn't really, there's not that much runoff that comes down this direction. But if we didn't start having issues, that'd be great. All right, I'm turning this off, cleaning up. I'll start digging tomorrow. There'll be a link down in the description for this pump from Amazon. It's a lot less messy trying to fill stuff like this. See? No drips. Future video to come, replacing this ignition switch. And go a little different route than I had on it. Good thing the old brakes and Stratton has a pull rope, huh? I wish I would have planned ahead and put that mat down a couple days ago. I mean, you see all of me. Not that matters. But that way I could have been killing the grass in that spot. It would have made a really good marker of where I need to dig and move around dirt. So I put that on for this morning. I doubt it's enough time to change anything in the grass. Probably not going to be noticeable. I'm going to pick it up and we're going to start digging. And I'll just have to check my work as we go. there, closer to the excavator end over there. And I went just a hair too low over here too. So pretty much what I'm gonna do is try to push the center this way and that dirt over there and push this way to build this area up a little more still. Sorry, you can't even see me. I'm gonna take the dirt that's over here and push it towards you to build that end up more. I've got to take some of this dirt out in the center and push that direction too, because this is still high here in the center. I may have cut down just a little low over here. Well, not really though, because I still need dirt. Still need this dirt to move that way. I'm gonna keep going till the camera dies, and then yeah. Test fitted the mat on here and did a little more shaving out around this edge. I was not up far enough on here, so I shaved it back with a shovel a little bit. We have it fairly level. I think if I spend more than a couple $100s on this pool, I would spend more time on it, leveling out a little better. But I think it's all right. It's not terrible. I could definitely see where sand would make it more comfortable and easier to get perfectly level. But I think now we're just going to rake out all these track marks and look for sticks and rocks one last time. I start raking over here, kind of see. Does a really good job taking the track marks out of here from the excavator. And then we'll slide that back down into place. I'll hit it with the leaf blower, blow that loose grass off of it again. And then we'll start putting the pool together that the kids don't know we have yet. It was just delivered about 10 minutes ago. So hopefully I can have this full and they can try it out tomorrow. It'll be nice and cold for them, but that's all right. I think they'll have fun anyway. I swear, every time I come out here, the air conditioner's running. And this fog, I can't wipe it, I can't sweat on me. So the pool is in. It's currently filling. Maybe, I don't know, 8 inches of water in there so far. I'm gonna try to wipe the lens. See a little better? All right, little update. It's been a couple weeks. Had to pull up, took it back down. We made this pad a little bit bigger. Still not big enough, I don't think, in my opinion. I want more space around on the upper end. Located drain tile from my downspout over there, which is broke, full of rocks and roots. So it needs to be dug back up and redone. We are going to need a retaining wall on this upper end. I'm not doing that this year though. Might do it in the spring, or yeah, probably in the spring. It's gonna have to come down here a ways. And then I'm gonna also need retaining wall over here to hold this dirt up here. And I think what the plan's gonna be is to make this like a paver patio, hopefully next year, and set the pool up on top of that. And then that way, whenever we take it down for the winter, we have a nice little seating area, put a fire pit out in the center of it. I haven't quite figured out exactly how we're going to do that yet. But I'm growing impatient with this project, and I just want to get the pool back up so I can use it for hopefully a few more weeks. So yeah, that's where I'm at on it. Bad Buttertron over here just killing it. Really liking the push to start. Like that a lot. And the updated hour meter, that's just the wire wrapped around the spark plug wire. Keep track of everything. There's a battery inside of here. 15 hours. I don't remember what I had on it. It was like 17 or something whenever I changed that out. I popped my first track off yesterday, so they're both in need of a little more tension on them. So I think roughly 30 hours in the machine. I didn't think that was too bad. But so far, I'm really happy with the machine. I'm satisfied with this pad, I think, for this at this point in time. So I got some retaining wall work to do. Got the grade stick and the laser out. Let's see if I can hit the camera with the laser here. There it is. So it's all pretty close. I'm probably within a ½ inch or so, I think, all the way around. Just being sitting on dirt, I don't know how well it's going to stay. I've been trying to run over it really well with the machine, pack this down nice and hard, but it's still just dirt. It's not going to stay put. All right, now the pad's bigger. This fits a lot better. When we had it up last time, these legs are way too close to the edge of this over here. And like this was packed really tight by the excavator, but somewhere, I think it was somewhere over there, it was actually caving off a little bit. So the wall was sinking really bad. I feel a lot more confident in it this time. We're a lot further away from the edges. Space all the way around. So we're going to take a leaf blower, blow some of this dirt off of this, and put the pool back together. And here it is. Extra space. We had some rain yesterday, so this is all damp. I trenched out, shoveled out that downspout drain so it doesn't wash the pad out. So we have some extra space all the way around. It'll be a lot better when it's totally done. If you can see that, the legs are sinking into the dirt a little bit, which I knew was going to happen. There's leaves floating in this thing and stuff sunk on the bottom. But overall, it's way better than it was the first time around. You can kind of see there's a dip back there. But not too bad. It's definitely a good starting point for next year. where we get the pavers and stuff all done and retaining walls put in. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. Check out any of the Amazon links down below for anything used in this video. Hopefully there's something in here that helps you, or you find this entertaining in some way. I really appreciate you watching the video. Thank you.